Hey, everybody. Long time no talk. Welcome back to the Fantasy Radar podcast here on CIH Media. We're doing
Welcome
something a
back.
little
Isn't
bit,
this our first?
well, I mean, what did we leave off? Like week 8 last year?
True,
The
somewhere around
year
there.
before
Yeah, yeah.
that? Something
Okay.
like that? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
remember what it
Anyway,
was.
I know. I just like to, you know me, I like to pester you.
Yes, yes. And why wouldn't you? That is the
Exactly.
MO after all. I'm Eric Pesolano with Chuck Lejsek. A little different this time around. We're testing out the audio medium. People like
True.
to listen in their cars when they're driving and not so much watch us. So I don't
Have you
know.
seen our pictures? Come on, please.
Well, there's also that. That's probably a good point. Well, we can't really talk fantasy right now, right? It's a
No,
little early for that, so we got to talk about something else. So I know something near and dear to your heart is the NFL draft. So why not talk about that a little bit?
that's right. Tis the season once again. That's right. Baseball has started. The NBA and NHL playoffs are beginning. However, the spring also energizes new life into the king. No, it's not love flop, James. It's also known the entity as the NHL or NHL. Did I say NHL?
You
NFL.
did say NHL, yeah.
No. All hail the NHL too, but NFL as well. You know what? The draft is just a week away, and you know what? Fans like you and me have every chance to see what when their team representatives. I mean, you're a 49er fan. I'm a Bears fan. We
Right.
get that right, you know. And when their team representative steps up on that podium, otherwise in that garbage dump, otherwise known as Green Bay, a possibility of like a renewed life, you know, something brought back into a team that kind of could be somewhat lifeless, or you could be missing that little piece that could take you to the promised land. Who knows? You know.
I do
So
know.
anyway, the NHL draft has become somewhat of a staple. Actually, it's become more of a staple, but it's more of an institution. You know, you see last year you had what a couple 100,000 people each day show up to that uh, you know, of these NFL fans show up to their respective Mecca in Detroit, which is not I don't want to say it's a Mecca, but still, but the draft itself, you know, to witness, you know, that guy that's stealing a lot of money, Roger Goodell, used chiropractic rehabilitation as a tax write-off, as he's been lifted up for what the 227, 228 time by the newest NFL rookie, you know to the NFL fan, it represents, you know, as such as me too, because we always win you know, I'm tired of winning the off season. I
Yeah,
want to actually get into the regular season and stuff like that. But you know what? It represents like a bastion of hope. Honestly, it does. And it's you know a renewal, a possibility, a chance for the second most desirable trophy in NHL or not NHL sports. There I go with the NHL again. My
you got
goodness.
hockey on the brain, man.
I know I do. I
I
know I
get it.
do.
Playoffs have started. Yeah.
In you know in the big four, American major sports, Super Bowl trophy, obviously, Stanley Cup is obviously the best by far. You and I both agree with that. Am I a certified draft expert? No, not at all. Not by far. However, I watch a lot of college football and literally every NFL game. Trust me, as you've seen before, we have 4 or 5 TVs up, and I'm lucky enough
Yep.
to have a significant other that lets me, you know, put every TV up that I can, and we have a great time doing it. And you know, that's probably why I'm sitting there working off the 30 pounds I gained over the or during the football season. But still, we take it from there. You know what? But the one thing is, though, you know, as you know, you and I both watch a lot of college football and as well as NFL. And after a while, you can start to recognize a team's needs, deficiencies, and you know what? I actually kind of, after seeing a little bit once in a while, I do have an innate ability to kind of possibly plug in that perfect puzzle piece to that team that needs to shore up the weakness on their positional depth chart. All right, you know what? Enough about me and you. That's done. I could talk for hours about me. You know that. But let's get to
Yes.
it. Yes, I know you can. It can go any round in any direction. So it doesn't make a difference. So don't get mad if I don't sit there and say, hey, here's who your team's first round pick is going to be. Because you know what? I'll probably be right. But yet again, I look deeper in the draft. Just give me a couple first round selections here and there. But you know what? The one thing I'm a little upset with myself. I stayed away from the sixth and seventh round this year. I basically, I think I only went 1 through 5. So let's see what goes on with this. So anyway,
Well, I
after
mean, you you look at the team as a whole, right? So
Yeah.
this isn't necessarily a mock draft. This
True.
is
No,
just looking at
exactly.
every team and what they need.
Exactly. And find that perfect piece that they could find, and let's
Yeah.
just take it from